I never played much NES when I was a kid. I grew up with the GameCube and Super Mario Sunshine and all those types of games. So now I'm playing Dennis the Menace on the SNES. Yeah, I couldn't come up with an intro. I don't. A game based on the 1993 movie Dennis the Menace. There's even a Game Boy version. But besides looking odd, there isn't much to say about this one. Except for this face. Why is it there? Also, is this supposed to be grass, or has Dennis died and ended up in some weird kind of green hell? Dennis the Menace for the SNES was made by the company Ocean, and already I don't have very high expectations considering they couldn't even center their own logo properly. Although I do have to admit, the music's pretty awesome. So let's not wait around any longer, we'll get right into it. Starting off at Mr. Wilson's house. Who could have guessed it? In this game you take control of Dennis. As you start off, you're greeted by a jumping cat, and you also have a water pistol as a weapon. So I'm assuming they want me to use the water gun on the cat. Cats don't like water, you have a water gun, makes sense. Except that it doesn't. The water gun does absolutely nothing. No matter how many times I shoot water right in its face, the cat just doesn't give a single fuck. Already off to a great start. Dennis himself controls pretty okay, but whenever you run you can't stop right away, making you feel like you're playing on ice, which is not a good thing for a platformer. Turns out the thing I didn't even realize I picked up in the beginning is a slingshot, and it can actually kill enemies. Why start me out with a weapon that does nothing if you're going to give me another weapon right at the start? Let's start exploring Mr. Wilson's house. And right away, we realize everything in this house wants you dead. And I mean everything. Cats, mice, bats, fish, record players, bowling balls, footballs, teacups, boxing gloves, you name it, and it probably wants Dennis dead. Including Mr. Wilson. What the fuck is that? Apparently this creepy looking thing is Mr. Wilson. And good luck avoiding him. He always comes out of nowhere like, surprise, motherfucker! But I gotta say, if this is what Mr. Wilson's house looks like, he's got way bigger problems to deal with than just Dennis. So after that creepy encounter, I look around the house for what I'm supposed to be doing. I found this coin with my face on it earlier, but no matter what I do I couldn't pick it up. But I spot a similar looking coin with my face on it just above us. So I go and pick that up. Seeing how I'm still unable to pick up the floating coin, and there are 4 smaller coins orbiting it, I'm assuming you need to get 4 of those bigger coins and then get back here to finish the level. But no matter where I look, I could only find the first 2. I did however see what looks like to be an attic. I mean, there are coins and enemies, but no way to reach it. Oh no, I get it. You need to get behind Mr. Wilson. I'll wait for him to walk the other way, slip past him, and a dead end. Also Mr. Wilson. This is the first level of the game and I'm already stuck. Turns out what you have to do is stand on top of this jester in a box that will fling you upward. We have to go to the left and flip a switch, which in turns open up a ladder to the attic, which you'd never be able to see if you didn't randomly jump while walking through the house. So we get the remaining coins and finish the level. Finally. On to stage 2, the park, where we go and do the exact same thing all over again. Only this time without the creepy Mr. Wilson to instantly end your adventure. Get 4 coins, find a floating coin and win. Level complete. Sweet. On to the part 3 and... Jesus! What the f***? This game is supposed to be for kids, right? That thing looks like Piranha and a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel had a baby. Ugh. Well, at least the gameplay's different now. Just keep up with the dog as he slowly runs to the right. Sounds easy, right? This part took me so long to complete. I think now is a good time to bring up Dennis's health, or courage, as the game likes to call it. He's got a good amount. He doesn't die after getting hit 3 times, but for a level like this, where there are enemies absolutely everywhere, it's just not enough. It wouldn't be so bad if Dennis didn't get stunned after every hit. Meaning if you get hit while you're a little too far to the left, you can forget getting to the end. That demon dog is not going to stop for anything. And this level just keeps on going and going. I mean, look at this! Look at this! I fucking hate it. Level 3 should not be this difficult, especially in a fucking Dennis the Menace game. But alas, we finally made it, and on to the next level. Luckily it's back to the find 4 coins to go to the end of the level style of gameplay. It's much easier. That is if you get the blowgun, which you can only find in the first level. If you only have the slingshot, you might as well quit right now, because you're not getting very far. The projectiles from the slingshot have a downwards arc to them, which makes sense, but it's a bit annoying to hit certain enemies with. And that's where the blow dart comes in. Its projectiles have no regards for gravity and will travel in a straight line for as long as they can. So, after a whole bunch of walking around shooting innocent animals in the face, we finally finish the level. On to another park level? And not only that, it's with the demon dog again? I tried, I really did. But I just could not finish this level. So I took the next logical step. Cheat! Alright, got that infinite health cheat going. And just look, how is anybody supposed to make this with normal health? This level goes on for nearly 2.5 minutes. And yeah, there are health pickups, but they are few and far between. I mean, seriously? Was anybody even supposed to finish this level? And what do you get for being a god at video games? What rewards lie beyond the Park 5? Another park level. You know what? Yeah, fuck this. I'm fucking done. Roll the outro. Yeah, no, I wish. No, sadly, this is not the end. If you remember from the very first menu of the game, there was an option for settings, which I didn't bother to look at because I didn't think there was anything important there. Turns out there's a difficulty selector within the settings menu and it starts off with hard by default. So I select easy and start playing again, and it's actually a lot easier now. I take less damage and there aren't as many park levels this time around. Only 4 before you fight a boss. I wonder what kind of boss they came up with for a Dennis the Menace game. A random girl on a swing. It's a random girl on a swing. The boss fight itself is really uninteresting as well. You keep shooting and occasionally dodge a falling seed or jump over a mouse. That's it. Beat the boss. Good. On to the next stage. Boiler 1. I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere because I didn't plan on ending up in Yarnum. I mean, what the hell is all this? What kind of traumatic shit did Dennis have to endure in the movie? Hey, Walmart? Yes, I got a quick question. Do you by any chance sell boilers in the shape of a demonic face? You do? And they even shoot fireballs out of their mouths and steam out of their ears? And I can also get the upgraded version which launches its lid 10 feet in the air? And it goes great with your fungus covered platforms to liven up any evil lair? Oh sweet man, give me 50. Aside from the strangely creepy look and atmosphere, these levels play out exactly the same as the first ones. Except they switched out the demon dog for demon boilers. Not sure which I prefer, honestly. Finished 3 levels and there's yet another boss fight. With a gym teacher. Okay, the first one I could understand a little bit. A girl on a swing in a park isn't too far-fetched. But a gym teacher in a boiling room? Next up, the sewer. And here is where the developers got really lazy. Yeah, let's just put a string of small platforms right after each other. Put some enemies you can barely see at the end of some platforms so they have to take a hit unless they know it's coming. These levels suck. The last boss is a fish with rotating platforms around it and it's not interesting at all. Then the forest. Not the worst of the levels, but the most confusing. Half of the time I have no idea where I need to go to get the coins, and the game sure as shit isn't telling me. After clearing all of these fucking levels, we finally get to the last boss. After fighting a girl on a swing, a gym teacher, and a giant fish, I wonder what they come up with now. Whatever it is, I'm ready. Bring it on. I take that back. I was not ready. So yeah, the last boss is this guy? What kind of movie did they make? The boss itself is pretty easy if you know the pattern. Hit him once, he throws 1 apple above you, then 2 below. And he only changes the pattern when he's nearly dead. And even then he just throws 3 apples below you. And that's it. The game's done. And boy am I glad that's over. Dennis the Menace for the SNES isn't the worst game I've ever played. And it's functional, but just not fun. The level design is bad, the enemies are annoying and placed all over the place. The whole concept of collecting items to finish a level isn't a bad one. It's just done really poorly. And that random guy at the end, turns out he's a burglar named Switchblade Sam. Yeah, because apparently this game had a story. Dennis had to rescue his friends Joey and Margaret. I'm assuming they're the ones tied to the tree here. And also Mr. Wilson's coin collection, which is probably the coins we've been collecting. But never in the entire game does it tell you about this. Was this the plot to the movie? And yeah, it sort of was. There is a burglar named Switchblade Sam in the movie, and he does in fact steal the coin collection. But I have no idea where the girl on the swing and the gym teacher or the giant fish came from. And neither do I really care. I'm glad this game is finally over. It's not fun, it's not well designed, it's playable, but that's about all the good things I can say about it.